Nothing worse than when your big brother leaves you behind. Our first guest stars in the new ABC sitcom Over the Top. Very funny show. But who can forget him as Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Remember this?
Don't get strung out by the way I look. Don't judge a book by its cover. I'm not much of a man by the light of day, but by night I'm one hell of a lover. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania.
Please welcome Mr. Tim Curry. Thank you. Oh. See the effect you have on people, man?
Hey, that's my job.
You know, now, it's gotta be wild. All your body work, all the stuff you've done, still 20 years later, that Rocky Horror Picture Show keeps showing up, and people still see, like, man, that's the man. That's Dr. Frankenfurter, man.
Well, it's sort of peculiar, you know, because it's 22 years now it's been running. And, you know, we made this movie for £1 million in 1974.
Into American
well, maybe about $1.5 million.
Okay.
And, you know, it's been running for 22 years, and it's the movie that wouldn't go away. You know?
Now, how long did it stay in the theater before they actually pulled it and then it became this cult film?
Oh, it was a total disaster when they when we put it out. I think it ran for about 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, and they yanked it. And then a really smart guy at 20th Century Fox kind of invented the midnight movie circuit, and he put it in a cinema called the Waverly in New York on 6th Avenue, and it just sort of took off. And people started talking back to the screen. I mean, I'm told that the first person to talk back to the screen was Mark Shaman, who's a very famous film composer now, and it just sort of started to happen, and then, you know, there was a whole kind of script.
Well, black people are known for talking back to movie screens, so we invented that, not Mark. We'll talk back to the screen when ain't nothing happening. We just like talking to the screen, man. Now, what I've always dug about you know, I always want to have a cool voice. See, for a man to have a cool voice is everything. You know, Barry White got that voice. And you've got such a distinguished voice, and I also know you do all these voices. A lot of people don't know, you would probably have more voiceovers on your credit than the movies, right?
I probably do. I just sort of started doing it when I moved here. I moved here about 9 years ago, and I was doing a musical on the road. I was doing Me and My Girl, which was playing at the Pantages, and Gordon Hunt, who's Helen Hunt's father, was the sort of...
That's how she got into Hollywood.
Well, he was a dialogue director at Hanna-Barbera, and he asked me to come and do the voice of the snake in Adam and Eve. And I had such a good time. I said, you know, I'm moving here at the end of this tour, and if I can do some more of this, that would be very cool. And so he just kind of called me up every time they were auditioning stuff, and I would just audition with everybody else and just, you know, see whether I could cut it.
But it's a very, people don't understand voice. It's a very closed market. I mean, there's only a few people in it, and once they get a voice they like, that voice keeps locking in and locking in.
It's true. I mean, one of the things that I like about it is that they let me play Americans, you know?
Can we, you know, you have a voice, and I know you did now in Beauty and the Beast. Was it Beauty and the Beast? You got the Beauty and the Beast voice. Now, in Duckman, see, a lot of people know this is King Chicken. In Duckman, but see, they get a chance to see you. You know, Jason was like Duckman, right?
Yeah, Jason Alexander was Duckman, and I was King Chicken, who was his nemesis. And every time King Chicken showed up, he was in disguise, so you didn't know he was King Chicken until, like, the last reel. So I got to be all kinds of... I think one of the first ones I did was a Borscht Belt comic called Morty Landersman.
Can we hear that?
Duckman, you gotta laugh, baby. Up here in the Catskills, we don't do that kind of a thing.
See, that's what I want, man. I want to do some of that stuff,
man. It's made by a great company called Klasky Supo, who originally did The Simpsons, and they also do a show called Our Real Monsters.
You do any voices on that one?
Yeah, I play a mad sort of wasp called Zimbo.
Oh, that's the one with all the weird-looking monsters, like the nasty monsters.
They're very creepy-looking, and this guy's like a wasp with teeth. And I guess they had some trouble casting it, and I said, could I play him like a sort of Argentinian gigolo?
So I talk like a thief, the very face.
I mean, but very, very frightened because the wings are going all the time.
So you know what? Now that comes in handy. Like say if a guy had a lot of women in the car in the house, you can act like you're not home. Because you keep doing voices.
Sorry, Mr. Curry, not at home at the moment.
See, I can't do that, man. I cannot do it. But now we all talk about other stuff you're doing. Now you're doing like over the top. Sitcom is happening. You get a chance. Now you talk about Halloween in hell.
Thank you.
We got that going. Now the way the show is set, isn't that you have to go back and work for your ex-wife?
Well, kind of. I'm playing Simon Ferguson, who is an actor who had a kind of career in the 70s. In fact, I think he had an Oscar nomination about 1977. But he drinks a little, and he's not a very good timekeeper, and he's had 4 marriages that are all ended in disaster, and he's paying a lot of alimony. And
typical Hollywood kind of.
Basically, exactly. Basically, he's on the skids, you know. And when the show began, he was on a soap opera called Days to Remember, playing Dr. Max Van Landingham. And he gets canned from the soap, and basically he just talks his way into this hotel in Manhattan, which is run by the first of his ex-wives, Annie Potts. And basically I just kind of freeload, and because I'm so good for business in the bar, they let me stay.
So now Annie Potts, you and Annie Potts go back for a while, don't you?
We do. We made a movie about 11 years ago called Pass the Ammo in Arkansas. And we're great friends.
Is that a cult film, too? Does that come on at midnight on?
No, actually, no, it's not a cult film at all. It's the film that never happened. Actually, the company that made it celebrated its release by going bankrupt, so...
That's always a good
not
thing
many
for your
people have
career.
seen it. No, it's not a great career move, really.
Now, Annie Potts lives right next door to you, right? Now,
She does.
You're like the uncle, the godfather to the kids. She has like about 4 kids.
Yeah, she has 3 sons, one who's 15 and one who's 5 and one who's 2. So, you know, I've been doing this for a while. I'm kind of Uncle Mame, really.
Now, so let me ask you this. Now, it's Halloween. Now,
Yeah.
you go back. Are you going to go trick-or-treating with the kids?
Well, I think they're probably already starting. I'm hoping I'm going to actually go by in the Cape and just check it out.
So you're hoping they're done, is what you're saying?
I'm hoping they're
Here
done.
on national TV for Annie Potts, you kind of hope her kids already gotten their candy.
Well, it's only so I can show off the Cape, you know.
Because let's face it, I'm an adult. It's kind of cool dressing up for Halloween. Because remember, you get to a certain age, you don't want to dress up, but then we get older, we want to dress up again. So I guess we just become worse as we get older. Because I was a kid, I wanted to dress up. Then 13, I was like, I'm too cool. I'll take my brother out.
Well, not by the evidence of the films that we saw.
Well, that was my mother's thing, man. No, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
You're so welcome.
Good luck
Thank you.
over the top. You're a master. I'm glad you're on the show. Have a happy Halloween.
Thank you very much.
All right. Over the Top is on Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. on ABC. This is the man. Coming up next, the man who put Tab back on the map, Savion Glover, baby. And next week, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Busta Rhymes, Patti LaBelle, Michael Bolton, Carmen Electra, John Travolta, and we'll be right back with more voices.